Angelo Badalamenti was an American composer and arranger who was best known for his film and TV music. His career spanned from 1962 to 2022, and he is best known for collaborations with David Lynch, including the soundtrack for the Twin Peaks TV series. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is the soundtrack album from the TV show Twin Peaks. And as far as my memory goes, it might have been the first really successful TV soundtrack album, as opposed to a film or a stage show soundtrack. And I watched the first series when it was a current thing and some of the second series. And I would definitely say that the music was an integral part of the TV series. It was consistent across the episodes, which is not necessarily something TV shows do. And in fact, I was taken with it enough to get a copy fairly close to the time when it was current. So I've heard it a few times. I wouldn't say it's one that got massive rotation, but it's certainly got a few plays. How would I describe it? Well, mostly it's instrumental. There's 3 songs sung by Julie Cruz. There are tracks that Angelo apparently described as cool jazz, and I can live with that as a description. There are things that, like the main theme, which in retrospect might well be described as being slowcore now, because it's kind of slow-paced music. And the songs where Julie Cruz is singing, she's kind of presages dream pop in the way that she sings. It's very kind of mellow and ethereal and whatever. So, combined with the slow stuff, and it gives this kind of very atmospheric and slow, ethereal thing. So there are some musical themes that are reused several times coming through. Now, my memory is that the jazz piece that seems to crop up several times was particularly used for dream sequences in the show. And interestingly, there's quite an interesting mixture actually across the whole album between the use of synthesized sounds and real sounds. So there's real sax instruments going on here. But in the jazz tune that I remember most, they're using what sounds suspiciously like, and I'm pretty sure it is, a keyboard bass sound, which is meant to sound like a double bass, but is obviously slightly artificial. And I think that this was deliberate, using that, because it gives it a slightly off-kilter feel to it. Because, jazz isn't jazz if you've got kind of fake instruments in it. Not that, the sound is fake at all. It's atmospheric. It does what a soundtrack album should do, in my opinion, which is it reminds you of the show and it gives you memories of the show. I think possibly my opinion of it is coloured by the fact that I know the show. So as an album standalone from the show, I'm not sure how I would feel about it. I don't think it's quite well sequenced, which is another detriment, I think, often to soundtrack albums. Particularly when they decide that they want to do them in chronological order of how they appeared, say, in a film. It doesn't necessarily make musical sense for the arc of an album. Whereas in this, they've done the obvious thing of putting the main theme at the top. They've bookended that with Falling, which is the same tune, but it's got the vocals in it, Julie Cruz, at the end. But the rest of the sequencing is reasonably good, I would say. So, overall, I would say that I enjoyed this album. Would I go out and get a copy now? In retrospect, maybe I was feeling stronger about it then than I do now, but I still do quite like it. And so, as always, I'd love to invite you to share your opinion of this album. Please do talk to me through the comments box, and that's it from me for now.